Hello. Wonder if anybody's here yet. Let's give it a minute. Somebody's here. Who's here? Let me see. Can anybody, if you're out there, can you hear it? How's the sound quality? I was having issues a little bit. I'm trying new stuff. That's what's going on today. Um, got some holiday goodies ahead of the holidays, and I'm trying them out. Working on trying to improve my streams, so that's kind of what I'm playing with right now. Welcome, welcome. There's got to be a delay because I'm not seeing any comments. Let's see. Yeah, it's posting. Just kind of hanging out. Actually, this is kind of impromptu today. I wasn't really planning. Obviously, not planning this ahead. Um, Trying out during over the Christmas break, I picked up some of these wireless microphones, and I'm trying to see if it's working or not working. So if somebody can just drop a little, hey John, how's it going? Um, if anybody wants to just drop a, a sound check, that'll be great. Matter of fact, let me do this. Sounds good. Thanks, man. Are you working right now? If not, anybody's welcome to come up in here. I'm just kind of hanging out. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop the link if any of you guys want to come up. You guys are more than welcome to. Uh, just like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm just kind of trying out some little gadgets that I got over the Black Friday. Been itching to want to use them, and you know, just playing around. I know Saturday we're going to be streaming on Fish Plants y Mas. Hey, Rosie, thank you for coming. Buenos dias, buenos dias. Hey, Mike. Hey, you can't stay, but what's up? Nah, not much, Mike. I'm just trying out new equipment that I bought over the Thanksgiving Black Friday weekend. So just trying it out, see how this is working out. Because I want to use it on Saturday, and Saturday would be the wrong time to be trying out new stuff. So you're more than welcome to come up, John, if you want. Hey, 3G, Vinoski, thank you. Good morning to you guys. I figured I'd go on. I was looking at the calendar. Nobody's scheduled to be going on for the next 2 hours. So I figured out what better way to try the new equipment than going live and trying to work out any bugs that I might have or any issues. I know yesterday, uh, hashtag Taco Doritos, uh, and yesterday I was on StreamYard. I was trying to, for those of you that don't know, I guess once a month, um, the guy, we have a group of guys that come together, which is you probably guys seen out there, the Blackwater Coalition, which is comprised of Aquafunk, Fishy Biz, Big Tank Hank, uh, Warrior Planet Tanks, Jeffrey Watson, myself, and we just kind of it's more of a like a support group, not support group, but it's like a brainstorming group that we have, and we really try to push each other's content out there. It's more, yeah, I guess it is sort of a support group. Uh, hey, Mark, thanks for coming by. And so we get together about once a month, We talk about ideas that we have. If we're working on certain projects, we'll try to pitch each other ideas. So it's kind of like a little support group that we have to get that we put together. And about once a month, we'll have our meetings. And yesterday, I was trying to do it on StreamYard, and I was having all sorts of feedback issues, which I'm not hearing right now. But yesterday it was real bad, and I guess June was doing it last night, and she was having some of the issues. So I don't know if this was a overall StreamYard event that was going on. Hey, B Wizzle. Okay. Hey, if you want anybody that wants to pop up, you're more than welcome. I dropped the link. This is nothing formal. It's just more of a hangout. I'm not really going to talk about anything fish related, as far as like getting into specific topics like we usually do on our Saturday streams. This is more an opportunity that I saw where nobody was streaming. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I did want to try out some new gear that I've gotten, and I'm kind of playing with that. But anyways, like I said, we had that meeting yesterday, and in it was always, I was getting this weird. It wasn't an echo, but there was like a delay in the audio, and it was annoying because you would start talking, and about 4 words into your sentence, you start hearing yourself again. And I tried like crazy. I thought it was maybe a open mic or something like that, but it was just on my end. Yeah, and that was kind of the issue. And I don't know if that was an ongoing issue yesterday, because like I was mentioning, I know June had some issues with that, and I guess somebody else had mentioned that they were trying to stream, and they were having that. So I've been looking at other options yesterday. Well, what kind of got me down that rabbit hole is that I was looking on my laptop, because that's usually where I'll do all my streaming from, and I went to my Instagram account, and I guess on Instagram now they've allowed you to go live from your laptop, but you got to have an OBS streaming service. And so I started looking around, and I guess there was like a Streamlab that you could, because they mentioned that on there. And hey, Adele, how's it going? Thank you for being here. Let's see who else we have in here. I know John is in here. Mark, thank you for coming. Vinoski, 3G, Rosie Posey, thank you. Mike, I know Mike just dropped in and said hi real quick, and he had to do some stuff, but like I was saying, it's not anything. Yeah, you can come up here, B-Wiz, once you get home. Like I said, there's about 2 hour gap right now that nobody's doing anything, and I know. Yeah, Melon OSB, phone Insta stuff. Yeah, and I was trying to download it and trying to work through it, but it gets to the point where you have to pay for the full service to be able to do the RTMS custom links. And I was like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. I'll still continue to do. Hey, Jay, how you doing? ¿Cómo estás? And so I'll just continue to do Instagram on my phone. The only thing I don't like about the way they have their default setup is that you can only have like one person up at a time, or not one, 4 people up at a time, and sometimes, you get. Yeah, I know. That's exactly why I was streaming, because I was trying to find a live stream or something, and I didn't see anybody. I know somebody just got done, and I went into the Fish Fam link and saw that nobody was streaming. I said, you know what? Might as well try it out. Hey, Scuba Steve. Try out this new microphone that I have. I also, the camera that I've been, right now I'm using the laptop camera, but I have another camera a Logitech camera that's pretty cool. And I have this little directional mic, so that when I'm filming store tours and stuff like that, it allows me to be able to talk into one end and then still be pointing at the camera of somebody else that I might be interviewing. So this was a nice little pickup from the Black Fridays, and like I said, I was also able to pick up these. It's what I'm using right now, and what I'm hoping is that now what I can do is kind of put the camera at one angle if I'm working on stuff instead of having to have the phone right next to me so that people could hear me, or if I'm using the earbuds. Uh, Now I'll be able to get distance. And this is supposed to have, I think it's up to 120 feet distance or something like that, 20 meters, and which is pretty cool. And it wasn't that, I think for all of this stuff that I got, I'd have been, I want to say like 40 some dollars. So it was like a really, really good deal. And so just kind of playing with the new equipment. Um, Also got a new light, which I'm not using. uh, but, you know, what's for lunch? Chinese? Oh, that sounds good, man. I'm always up for Asian food. As a matter of fact, right now, here in Yuma, we don't have a lot of selection as far as restaurants is concerned. You'd be surprised that actually in Mexicali, there are a lot more restaurants and a large uh, variety of restaurants. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Glassbox. Thanks for being here. And but here in Yuma, it's kind of limited as far as steaks is concerned. There's one so-called fancy restaurant, but the food is good. But and I wouldn't say necessarily their their waiting staff is bad, but uh, like for example, I'm used to that if you go to a nice restaurant and they delay your meal, usually you'll get some sort of little complimentary while you're waiting for your meal to come out. This was the first time we had gone to this restaurant, and it was just kind of a whim kind of thing that we went and been wanting to check it out. Don't get me wrong, the food was excellent, but um, I ordered like a pork chop, and it took them nearly an hour to cook it, and they didn't bother giving us a heads up that it was going to take that long. And about 30 minutes into it, the waiter came over and says, "You know what? I'm really sorry, but I don't understand why it's taking this long for them to get it out here." But instead of just kind of bringing, I don't know, some bread or something, I asked them. I said, "Do you guys have anything just complimentary that we can just kind of keep talking, have your drinks?" And but they wanted to charge you for everything, and it wasn't even like a couple of dollars for some bread that you would say, all right, whatever. It was pretty expensive, and I was like, really? But that's what happens when you live in a smaller community where there's not a whole lot of options. The other stuff is just your chain restaurants like Texas Roadhouse, that kind of stuff. Not that I actually kind of like it, but we wanted a little bit something more intimate and something kind of special for that evening. Uh, Barbecue. Oh, at Chick-fil-A. Yeah, we have a Chick-fil-A here too. It's pretty good. It's, if I'm craving like chicken strips, that's usually where I'll get them from, or a chicken sandwich. We have a Cane's too, but honestly, you know I think Chick-fil-A is a little bit better. I guess that's the whole that whole. It's the equivalent as to In-N-Out burgers and I guess Wada burgers. It's just a matter of taste and and flavor profiles that you enjoy, I guess. But yeah, but this coming Saturday, uh, we're going to be having on our other channel, Fish Plants y Mas. We're going to be talking about plants. It'll be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to that, just because recently I've started kind of putting house plants into my aquariums, and I was kind of having a conversation with Steve, and he was going into the weeds with it. I said, you know what? Stop. We need to have this conversation in our live stream uh, for two reasons. One, because I'm pretty sure other people would want to hear about that information, and the other one is just because I want to learn more about it, and I kind of wanted that dynamic to be more organic. So I told him, don't tell me anything else, just because he started really giving me a lot of information as to what plants and what you need to do to convert them over. And I was like, you know what? Pump the brakes on that. We'll save it for an episode. So that's kind of where that's at. That's what we got going on this Saturday. Uh, Anybody doing anything interesting? Kelly, do you mind if I John, go ahead, man. I have no problem. Drop your link. As a matter of fact, Mark, if you want to come up here, there you go, buddy. Um, Anybody, actually. That's an open invitation for anybody that's out there watching. If you want to come up, you're more than welcome. What's the other channel? It's called Fish, Plants, y Mas. And it's a little bit of play on words. There you go. What's up, John? Let's get John up in here. Hey, John,
Hey,
what's up, buddy?
what's up, man?
Are you off today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between shifts. I got to go to graveyard tonight. Um, so I tried staying up real late last night to try to switch your sleeping pattern over.
Hmm.
I was able to stay up to 2, and I thought I was going to sleep a lot later in today. But by 8 o'clock, I was up and about. So it's like this afternoon, I need to catch a little bit of sleep, or it's going to be a rough night.
I always sit that I'm doing good, and then there'll be like an hour or two where I'm like, oh shit, why did I stay up? But then once I get past that, I catch the second wind, then I'm
Well,
good. But
for
it's
me at
usually a
night,
couple hours.
for me at night when I'm working graveyards, it's usually right around 3:30 where I kind of it's just that first night just gets bad, but then it starts picking up because we start getting a lot of orders in for the next day and confirmations
Hmm.
for the water we need to deliver at the dam. Once you start getting busy and you start doing stuff, that shit goes out the window.
Yep.
You wake up again, but it's that period between like 3 to 4 o'clock where it's just there's nothing going on, everything's quiet.
Right.
Your eyelids just start getting heavy.
Yeah. Where's the coffee? Where's the
Yep.
coffee? I gotta get
Luckily,
the.
we have a couple of we have like a Keurig, and then we have a conventional, the traditional drip. Excuse me, coffee makers. Everybody's got different tastes. Hey, Tommy, you want to come on up? You're more than welcome to. Hey, Ray, thank you for coming by. Actually, anybody that wants to come up. As a matter of fact, Mark had asked earlier um, if he could promote his channel. Of course, he can. Anybody that's in here, you're more than welcome to drop your link. As a matter of fact, I hardly ever use this one, so I don't have any moderators. But because it's not a regular thing that I stream on my channel, usually it's on Fish Plants y Mas.
Yep.
Um, so but maybe I should start doing some. I'll start streaming a little bit more, and people start dropping in. Then I'll start making mods. But right now it's a free for all.
Right?
Yep. So you got any
Yeah,
plans for
that's
the
all.
holidays, John?
Nah, man. Fish fam, Christmas, man. That's about it.
Oh, okay. Are you participating in that 24-hour stream? Hey, Ritesh, Eric, thank you for
Um,
dropping by.
I haven't committed to anything with it yet, but
Neither have
I
I, but I
may.
think, yeah, I think if, sorry, John, I'm stepping all over you. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's all I was gonna say. I might.
Yeah, I think if I see because I think for, well, no, for Christmas, I'll be, Christmas, the 24th and 25th, I'll be off. But I know for New Year's,
Mhm.
I'll be working. So if I see anything, an open space, um, I'll probably just drop in for a few hours or whatever. Try to keep that 24-hour stream going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people with plans that won't be around, and and then the people that won't have anything to do. So it's try to keep those people entertained, like myself.
Well, because I remember back when I was active duty, it always sucked when the holidays would roll around because sometimes you just didn't have money for a flight ticket, and if you were stuck on the East
Hmm.
Coast, you were just kind of hanging out, and it was a bummer, especially because most of the guys will clear out from the barracks because they're gone back home, and there'd only
Uh-huh.
be a handful of us left behind. And man, I remember those days. It was like, God, you want to do something, but there's nothing to do. You don't want to go off base because you know there's nothing but trouble off base, especially for like New Year's. And then back then, we didn't really have the internet. That wasn't really a thing.
Mhm.
You didn't have cell phones. Everything
Right.
was phone cards. So you could only talk to a couple of people before you ran out of money, and then the rest of the night you're just kind of sitting in your room, either watching DVDs or playing. At that time, I think it was like a PS2. That was the thing. And but so yeah,
So
that
PS2 is like early 2000s, man.
oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they had a PS. No, that was PS2. That's what I remember having when I was active duty. And I think everybody had them. And obviously, the big game um, that everybody would play was Madden football because that was
Madden. Yep. That's what I had, dude. That's what
Madden football.
exactly. I had like two games for that system. It was Madden and WWE or WWF or whatever wrestling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I didn't do much of the wrestling or I've never been very good at any of the fighting. I've always been more inclined to the sport games. Thank you for dropping by, John. No problem. And you know, usually it's like baseball. The basketball ones were all right. I played them, but not as much as I did. I think Madden. I guess everybody was. That was kind of like the
That
go-to
was the
game.
game. That was the game. Oh, Grand Theft Auto. That was the other one.
Yeah, yeah. I did a. I never really got into any of those role player games. It's never really been my cup of tea. I know all my kids. They've been trying to get me to play Call of Duty now because they all get together in the evenings when they get off of work. But I just don't. It's not my. I get
Man, I
all.
suck at games.
Yeah, those shooter games, especially because if you're playing in first person, I get all dizzy. I'm always like pointing
Yep.
up at the sky. I haven't
Right.
been. I haven't invested the time. I get bored real quick and frustrated trying to find the
Me too,
controllers.
man.
That is
Mm-hmm.
that is kind of like I quit and I don't go back to it. But I know my kids are all into it and they're always telling me because they're always going live. And I'll watch, but I don't really join any of the
Yeah,
games
I
because
don't.
it's like I'm dead weight, or I'll get killed in the first 10 seconds of it, and then I'm out. Uh, yeah, let me beat somebody. Let me see.
Oh, I know we got some gamers. There's got to be some kind of gamers in here.
Yeah, new plan of action. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, no. I've tried it.
Ah,
Uh, the original Call of Duty where it used to be where you could see the little icon and it was I guess
mhm.
what's that third person or I don't know what they call it. It's not
Yeah.
you actually. Those I could do pretty good. Um, but when it's actually supposedly your eyes just looking forward and all you see is just the hands or the
I can,
weapons,
yeah.
especially because I keep getting frustrated because I can't see behind me.
Right?
Yeah,
Trying to peep
so
behind you like
so I get all turned around and you know I think I'm going one direction. I'm going to. It's pathetic. It's bad.
Oh,
And I
good.
guess
So I have somebody else as bad as me.
yeah, it's end up shooting my teammates, and that's like, nah, I'm done. I don't need this aggravation. So
I'm
I
the press buttons kind of. I'm just press random buttons.
yeah, that's
That's
the
all
other
I
thing.
do.
Yeah, for all those like fighter games and all that's all I ever did. I never figured out the I would get too anxious and I just start
Hmm.
hitting buttons. And the only one where I did get somewhat good was Friday Night Fights, the boxing one,
Okay.
or
Okay.
Friday. No, what was it called? Friday something. I don't know. It's yeah, I think it's Friday Night Fights. But
Sounds
they
right.
they quit making it, and then it became like a VR. Hey, what's up, B-Wiz?
What's up, guys?
Not much. Thanks for coming up.
Oh yeah, I just got home.
How was work today?
Awesome.
It's pretty good.
Let me get rid of
Nice and
this.
short.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the rain. I was in the rain for a while, but I was in and out of those pools, just doing the chemicals, doing the skimmers, the pump baskets. I was skimming a little bit, but you basically just get in and out when it's pouring rain.
Did you
Yeah, it
guys
looked
end up
pretty
getting
nasty.
rain yesterday?
Do I now?
Did you guys end up getting rain yesterday? Because I know you were driving and you were saying that you guys might get hit with rain.
Yeah, today and yesterday and today. I can't find my dang vape. And then I went to the dollar store and couldn't find my freaking wallet, and it was in the truck.
uh, yeah, we got rain here, but northern Wisconsin got, well, Peplin this morning said he got 10 inches freeze, and it was freezing. I guess his electricity went out, so
Oh.
he said he had to pop out the generator.
Oh.
It here, I mean, here it wasn't any. I mean, I didn't even get an inch. He's about 3 hours away from me. I didn't even get a whole inch of snow. It was a lot of rain, and then it froze for a little bit, but I mean, nothing crazy.
Yeah, no.
Big difference for 3 hours.
Yeah, I know. We were supposed to get a cold front, and it dipped. It dipped down into the mid-30s for a little bit. I was joking about it the other day. I said we got near freezing for about 4 hours until the sun came up. Then it was over. And then it was.
I mean, we weren't. Yeah, we weren't much colder than that. I mean, I mean, for it to be raining, obviously, I guess it wasn't freezing. So, and then it did, like, it snowed for maybe an hour tops. So, nothing crazy.
Yeah, I remember what's so crazy is I vividly remember when I was a kid, well, much younger. No, I was a kid because I was still going to elementary school. We used to get some pretty cold winters out here, where the type where you would walk out in the morning because we would leave like at 7 in the morning for school, and all the cars would have the roofs of the cars and the windshields would have that ice on it, just like not big, but you could see where it had frozen over. And I remember the 3 days. Hey, Kelton. And you, if you ran your hand over it, it was the little dew droplets would freeze over, and they were kind of sharp, and they would kind of scratch your hand when you went over the top of those cars. And and I remember that used to be a normal thing, and it was like all winters. And now we don't even get those anymore. So I don't know. It's just weird how weather changes. It's not drastic, but
we don't get snow either.
Well, here it's been just a shift in, like, when I was younger, man, we would get pounded with snow by November easy. Like, I remember Thanksgiving playing with my cousins, playing football in the snow. It was bad, like inches, like for feet, really. And now the last 5 years, we barely even get snow by Christmas.
Y'all get into that Ice Age stuff, like the all the Mayan civilizations and what the theories are? Because on Netflix they have the show, and it's Ancient Apocalypse, and it goes past what history's supposed to be, and it says during the Ice Age, actually the Mayans and all of them were still. And there's the one place in Ohio, it looks like a snake, and the place in Louisiana where they're traveling up and down the Mississippi, trading and whatnot, and then they migrate. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I like watching history documentary, that type of stuff.
Yeah, but it's just crazy how the weather is it goes, well, it's like everything else, it goes in a cycle. Historically you'll see where they do those core samples, and they'll say, hey, the earth was this cold then. And so that's why you hear all these political arguments, and you wonder how much of it is really true and how much is just playing on people's ignorance. Hey, George, thanks for dropping by, man. Let me say a couple of hellos to people that have dropped in. It looks like I have both of the Scuba Steves in here today. Thank you guys for dropping in. Kelton is a guy that I met through Facebook, of all things, and he's here today. Thank you for dropping by. George, obviously, everybody knows George. Aqua Balls.
Yep.
See who else? Who else have I missed?
I posted a picture of me and Scuba Stevo on my community page today from Triple Crown.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that we took our picture together. He took it, but so I didn't actually have it on my phone. And then I was going through whatever. He sent it to me. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta post this.
Oh, cool. Now let me ask you, since you guys have been to that, for the Keystone Clash, what kind of event is that? Is it a club? Is it a club meeting, kind of like Oktoberfest, or is it more like in the direction of an Aquachella? Or
It's on a small level, like not even like close to Aquashell, like vendor wise, or like I guess the amount of people from the public basically being there, but it's more geared towards that than a club.
Okay. Yeah, because I know.
Whereas the Triple Crown was all clubs.
Okay. Yeah, because I know the one in Oktoberfest, the one in Oregon, it's supposed to be a club meeting, and then but it's like a big club meeting with special events going on. And I've always kind of been curious. And then what is it? The Keystone Clash, and then the other one is what's the other one that's up there in Pennsylvania?
He's talking about Triple Crown.
Yeah, the Triple Crown.
Triple
Crown is in a different place every year though.
Oh,
Triple Crown's not even Triple Crown isn't even every year. Triple Crown this is the first time that they came together with all the main clubs, like Live Bear Associate Cichlid, Live Bear, Killy Association, and those are the three main, and they came together it's for one event.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I've always kind of wondered. Let me go close the door. It's getting drafty. Hold on.
Yeah. Man, there's gonna be so many people at the Clash this coming year.
Keystone Clash is gonna be epic.
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
I'm going to Keystone Clash. That's the main one I'll be at, is the Keystone Clash. I already booked a room. By the way, it's 2-bedroom, same price as or it's 2 beds, same price as the 1 bed. So go ahead and book the 2 beds. Like me and you can, and split it or something.
Well, then I guess we'll just split we can just split the room or whatever. If you already booked it, then I'll just pay you half for the room.
Yeah, Glitch made me book it. So I booked it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
notice the look of disappointment in John's face because you booked a 2-bedder instead of a 1.
No, it's actually I meant to say 2 beds instead in the 1 bedroom.
Yeah, that was the joke he was making. That was the joke. Yeah, I'm big. I'm gonna be the big spoon, man. What the?
Oh my god.
No, but yeah, no, I love to go to those events. But they're all on the East Coast, and it's a good thing to have so many options out there. But if you're really trying to get to several of them, it can get pretty expensive.
Absolutely. I definitely came underprepared for the Triple Crown. It was my first event like that, so I didn't really know what to expect. So yeah, it was partially that, and it was that my boss had conveniently disappeared on me for like the 3 days prior to me leaving, and he owed me a lot of money and still does actually. So yeah.
Wow. The only nice thing about out there in the East Coast is that you can drive to most of those events. They're not really. It's not a far-fetched idea to be able to drive to them.
I'm gonna rent a car because my truck probably wouldn't make it, and it would chug so much gas. Not my work truck, but my regular truck. So I'll have to
Well,
rent or fly. It's about 500 to fly for me. So it's gonna be like 1,000 altogether, probably or more for like buying stuff.
I mean, I took a train, but
Okay.
I also took a side trip before I went to the
I
Crown.
want to go to
So
Michigan or New York too to get some edibles to bring up with me. Uh,
See, I
and then
forgot that option existed because we don't have a very good train system on the West Coast, and it seems like the East Coast is a lot more set up for train travel, which is kind of
you can
cool.
go
I mean,
you can go to New York, and they have different offshoots. And for me, at
I've
least,
taken I've taken a train all the way to New Mexico before.
No, yeah, but once you get to New Mexico, it doesn't take you around the rest of the country. It'll keep going west,
Right,
but
right,
it's not as convenient. See, public transportation on the West Coast is a lot less sophisticated as it is on the East Coast, because the East Coast, that's where the
right,
country originated. So it's more densely populated, and so
hmm
they have different types of public systems that you can use. You get further out west, it's more open
right,
spaces. Not
right,
everybody's on top of everybody. Everybody, drives in the West Coast. Um, Hardly anybody really
right,
uses public transportation unless you're in one of the bigger cities like LA or
right,
San Francisco.
right. Makes sense.
That's sort of some of the things that I found
yeah,
interesting.
they
Like
used to have an underground system, and then
the
I think,
subway.
yeah, they used to have a subway, and then they got rid of it. I don't know why.
Probably
It's
the
just-
upkeep. It's just cost money to do it, and people aren't
Right.
using it. Yeah, but yeah. So that as far as my plans was next year. I definitely wanted to get out to Dallas for Aquashella, but my plans were based on the fact that it was going to be in August, so it actually gave me a little bit of time to more than anything else is save up money, buy tickets ahead of time so that it doesn't get that expensive.
hmm
But the rumor mill keeps saying that it's going to be in place of Orlando, so that puts it at February.
That's what
And
I've kind of been hearing too.
I mean, so if that is the case, that is going to put me on an interesting situation because I was planning on the way I was planning on doing it. The time off from work is not the issue because I know I can get that. That's not a problem. But because my grandkids live in Houston and my son's stationed out there in San Antonio. Well, we're going to drive up San Antonio, go see my son for a couple of days, drive up to Dallas, go to the event, and on the way back, drop down to Houston, go see the grandkids, and then drive home. And
hmm
so I was going to take a couple of weeks off, and especially in August. By that time, most of the guys that had taken vacation are getting back because their kids are going back to school. So it just made it
Right.
real easy to be able to get the time then.
hmm
February won't be an issue either for time because nobody really takes vacation at that time of the year.
It's my
So
birthday month, man.
yeah, you got shorted out a few days
It's all right.
for the month.
It's all right.
So so that's kind of where we're at now. Is like, well, we're not probably gonna if I happen to go to that, it's gonna be almost straight to the event and back. Um,
Right.
so, but we'll see. I'm still
I
not a
think
It
big
goes by so fast, man.
I think the Clash is more of a hangout type thing. It's not as much vendors. I mean, it is vendors and buying and stuff, but it's like
Right.
you're gonna hang out with a lot more people, have more time. I'm gonna stay the 21st to the 24th, more days to get there early and maybe go to the casino for a little bit,
Mm.
pick up some women, maybe. I don't know.
Won't know
So
until
it'll be
first.
yeah. It's at I guess in January is when they're going to release the dates. What I'm
Yeah.
interested in is that last year, I heard that they were seriously considering trying to do something more towards the West Coast. So I don't know if that is part of. Well, obviously it was money part. I guess that the issue with Orlando, they couldn't come to to an agreeable number for that event. But again, I don't know if that was also were they having good success or not. It always seemed like it was always jam packed.
You can get a YouTuber pass for
I think
Shine, I think, and then you can
I
get a
think if
YouTuber Keystone for your.
I think if any of them would be questionable to me personally would be Chicago, because one, especially like this past year when they had it, it was starting to get cold, and it's just, you know what I mean, like you're in Dallas, which is warm, you got Florida is warm, and then you go to Chicago. I heard people were freezing in their hotel rooms and all kind of shit.
That's why to me I never made any sense why they didn't switch the dates. Have Chicago be in August where the weather, it might be humid, but you're not having to deal with the cold, because most of the event you're going to be indoors anyways, so it's not as bad as the cold.
Right.
And then move Dallas to the winter months in October where it's really nice. I mean, you could go in short and
or if they move
enjoy.
them around. Imagine if they had one in California, how many people would be out there?
The problem with California is that it's so expensive,
Yep.
that I don't even know. I don't know if they would be able to keep their door tickets at the same price.
I agree.
True.
I totally agree.
Now, you could do Arizona, you can do Colorado, you can do New
Oregon.
Mexico.
Yeah, people can travel too to that.
Or you could do Vegas, because Vegas is actually designed to have conventions, and they're
true.
And it doesn't have to be on the main strip,
No.
because you can go off to one of the smaller venues and book the whole hotel for those events, and it doesn't have to be on the strip, because there's so many of those out there, and still get a really good decent price.
Now are you going for the fish, or are you going for the strip?
I'd go for the fish. I've been to the strip plenty of times.
I know. Yeah, me too.
If I go, I'd go for both because I've never been there.
Yeah.
Really?
What's really neat is you could actually do both, because the convention runs, a certain amount of hours. Yeah, Vegas never shuts down. The problem would be the next day for some of the people that stay up all night.
Yeah.
You have a bunch of zombies walking around because they've been up for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So
I didn't sleep much at the Crown, that's for sure.
Well, I think from the gist that I get, the fun really is after the convention, where everybody's kind of hanging out, socializing, letting their hair down, not having to worry be in front of a camera and watch what they're saying, because somebody might take it out of context or anything like that. So, and that's kind of the part that I kind of look forward to, because I'm being as social as I am. That's the part that I enjoy. I like hanging out with people. I like joking around, having a few drinks, and have a good time.
Yep.
But
minus the drink part for me, but yeah.
Well, I'd be buying all the legal as marijuana edibles.
See, that's why they need to do it in Colorado.
Yeah.
If they do it in Colorado, that'll be easy money there.
No doubt.
But,
I would smoke, but everybody's
the possibilities here.
The smoking, gets to people, so that's when I get like the edibles, the concentrate, stuff like that. Because smoking, it just spreads out everywhere and tells you you're smoking.
Are you doing the Death Stars?
Do what?
Are you doing the Death Stars?
The Death Stars, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
No.
there's
I'm not in a legal state.
There's a comedian named Joey Diaz, or
yeah, I know who he is.
Well, he's always dosing his friends by making them eat these little. I forgot. I'm not really up on how many milligrams, but it's an insane amount of milligrams of THC that's in these things, and he kind of gives them to people, and he laughs because once it hits them, they get all freaked out because it's real.
I would take one for sure. I would do one.
Yeah, I think
back when I was.
I think that's what they're called, Death Stars.
Back when I was still fucking around like that, I got a buddy of mine had these 3 different flavors of chocolates from the dispensary in California. There was a mint one, like a dark chocolate one, and then I don't remember what the other one was. But the mint one, dude, it wasn't even like THC, dude. It was like eating shrooms.
Oh, they have those now, too. They have those in my.
It was crazy, dude. Oh, but it was THC, but it felt like you were eating shrooms.
But yeah, nowadays it's legal to get chocolate bars in different states of mushrooms, and you can take the whole bar and microdose. I'd microdose it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like with depression and stuff. But I wouldn't go out there to trip or anything. Maybe once, but that's it. Like in Vegas, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite movies, period.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it. I know what it's about.
I have a video about him.
You got to have the right personality for that kind of movie.
That guy in real life. So you know the Hell's Angels? He became popular by writing the first book on the Hell's Angels, and he got beat up too. And then he started making different books, and then he was crazy. And he would do like drugs, like. And
wasn't he also like a sheriff in town in Arizona or New Mexico?
He ran for sheriff. He was smoking and stuff while he was running. This is in Colorado, actually, too. It was in the 70s.
Yeah.
You talking about Hunter S. Thompson? Hunter S. Thompson, yeah.
I'll try to remember his name. But I
and then Bill Murray played him in Where the Buffalo Roams when he was doing sports. So what Hunter S. Thompson does, basically, what ESPN picked him up and everybody likes him. He'd go to all these sports events, but he wouldn't write about the sports. He'd write about his time tripping and then different things happening, meeting these people, and everybody loved it. So they made columns out of it. So he wrote books and then columns and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Benicio del Toro was a great actor in that movie, man.
Who was he portraying?
His lawyer in real life.
Yeah.
He always brought his lawyer with him.
Yep. But his lawyer was supplying all the shit.
And doing it too with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Johnny Depp was the one that was supposed to be playing Hunter S. Thompson, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting because it probably soothes a lot of his personality, and they're very just the way as quirky as Johnny Depp is. He nailed it.
Oh, it was. Those are two of my favorite all-time actors, and so them together was like, it was like sparks in the air, man.
I highly suggest you haven't seen it, watch it.
He is so underrated, man. Del Toro is the shit.
The guy who played the first Spider-Man movies in it, when they're driving to Vegas and they're seeing bats from all the ethanol and like coke, whatever drugs they're on, and they picked up that guy, the actor from the Spider-Man, and they were freaking him out.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's in the back seat and he's like, I just want to get out of here, man.
Yeah. Because they were like swerving and seeing bats.
Driving through the desert. Yep. Oh yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, man. But that was one of my favorites for sure.
For some reason, Mark, I thought you can't do it in Amsterdam. I saw a thing that Americans can't smoke in Amsterdam no more. But I just saw something on it. I could be, there's articles, but
that's weird.
I'm sure you can. I mean, I would still try if I went.
No. What he's getting at is you can't smoke tobacco, but you can smoke the other stuff.
Yeah, I thought for some reason though, a month ago, I saw an article that now
even tobacco.
Yeah,
I was hearing the craziest thing on the radio recently in New Zealand. They're making it where anybody that was born in 2008 or 9 will never be able to smoke. Because
never.
Yeah, this is a new law that passed down there, and I think it's New Zealand, because they're trying to eliminate smoking completely. So anybody that was, I think it's right now, if they were born like in 2009 or 10 or somewhere around there, from what I understood in the document, they're never going to be of legal smoking age, because each year the smoking age is going to move up and up and up to the point where this generation will never be able to meet that age requirement.
Right,
Is
right.
craziest thing.
That's
The only see, this is what fascinates me because people do not learn from history. If people want to smoke, they're going to smoke. Just like
yeah.
in Prohibition, people wanted to drink,
Yep.
they drank, and all it
Yep.
did was create organized crime. That's all it
Yep.
does. That's
True.
all
That's
it does.
exactly
Because all
what
of
to
a
do.
sudden, a certain thing becomes profitable. There's money to be made. So I'm hearing this and I'm going, they're setting themselves up for a world of hurt.
It's just like narcotics coming through the borders now. You can't tell me, like, obviously a lot of that's being slipped through. They're letting it slip through.
They got drones now too. It's pretty cool. I mean, they haven't, imagination.
That would be
It's just
growing in.
anytime
Yep.
they try to prohibit something, and it's always the same thing. Once you start telling people they can't do something, all of a sudden that becomes the one thing that they really want to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Fixate on it. Exactly, man.
Instead of doing the right thing and educating people and saying, look, be smart about this. This is what's going to happen to you if you lose the control of what you're doing. These are the potential risks. But the minute you say you can't make that choice, we don't think you're responsible enough to make that choice, that's when it becomes a problem.
That's why you got to use that reverse psychology. You'd be like, go ahead, do it. And then people are like, that ain't fun.
It gets to that point where how much of this is really for your good and how much is it really an industry issue? Because look, if you really want to look at it when it comes to issues like that, is alcohol. Alcohol, they did try banning it, but
and then you got that mobster, what's his name?
Yeah, Al Capone. But that's what I was getting at. When they try to, you can't prohibit people from doing something because it's only a bit. But as far as being more dangerous than some of these, drugs that are out there, it's probably just as bad, but it's legal, and they still let people venture into it and decide for themselves whether it's going to be a problem or not.
Be honest, man. I think that as much as they're talking about trying to stop fentanyl and all that, I honestly think they're letting it come through as a population control, to be honest with you.
I mean, the CIA did do the crack wars. That's fact, actually. Yep. That reporter got killed over it. They said it was suicide. Oh, man, that was crazy.
I figured they're thinking
wars and stuff. They couldn't get that was what's his name? That hit general something. It was in the crack wars in the 80s, and Reagan was president, and they had that general when they went to Congress.
Oliver North?
Yeah, Oliver North. That reporter got killed too because he's the one who said the CIA was involved, and he did all the research.
They were. I figure, fentanyl's killing more people than COVID, so it's a good way to get rid of the junkies, I'd say. And I can say that because I was one.
Well, the problem with that is that it's not necessarily junkies in itself. It's just that drug is so potent that
man.
You don't have to be, you don't have to be a junkie. You could be somebody that's just trying it for the first time. And
it's actually worse if you're trying it for the first time because you have no tolerance, and that's when the one and only time that I ever OD'd was when I went to jail for almost 2 weeks. And when I got out, my tolerance was low enough that, I didn't even do it. I normally didn't. I don't remember shit.
Did you go to the hospital or get Narcan?
I got five shots of Narcan.
Wow.
which is their max. Like after five, they'll either, if they can, they'll paddle you, and otherwise you're like done.
I have a lot of nurses that keep it on them because, like, and a lot of people keep it on because they see people.
Yeah, I keep it in my backpack even now, not because but in case I see somebody fall out or something. I've actually seen people in parking lots that, obviously I still can recognize when something ain't right with that, people slumped over their steering wheel.
Yeah. So
Very
when you
sad,
come back
man.
to that, I had a friend. Well, still have a couple of friends that are paramedics, and they said that once you bring somebody back, they're usually pissed and they wanted to get. They get
From
combative.
what I heard, you go straight to withdrawals. From what I heard.
Oh, okay.
The fucked up thing is I didn't.
Oh.
I was still fucked up.
But
Probably
just
with all
like-
the
Yeah. But I will tell you this, my whole body was like uncontrollably shaking.
That's what that cop did
And-
who overdosed. Because he was just touching it and he overdosed and he about died. He hit his head and that other cop saved him.
Yeah, I saw that.
Video.
That was a deputy from San Diego.
Yep.
I know from what I hear, because I don't remember, I was told that the look on the people's face at the emergency room was utter like, what the fuck? Because I was like, I'm not, being prideful about it or anything, but it's just a crazy story when I think about it now.
Yeah.
It took 9 doctors and nurses to like drag me out of the car, get me in a wheelchair, and then into the room. And supposedly they were already giving me Narcan like right out in the emergency room, like on the floor. And I woke up with my shirt cut open, and I was like, when I came to, I thought, obviously I remember falling out. I had no idea what was going on. I thought in my brain told me that I was in a bar fight. And so when I came to, I was going to jump up and start swinging because I thought I got knocked out or something. That was what I imagined when I was coming back to. And they like pushed me back down, and they're like, you're safe. You're at the hospital. You just OD'd. I'm like, and that's when I started like uncontrollably shaking and like, I don't know, probably shed a tear or something.
So when you were out, you were unconscious. It wasn't like your brain was still
out.
working.
I was done. I was done. Like as blue gets.
What time, Mark? They said Bunny might be streaming.
I don't remember honestly, if I would have died, I wouldn't have known that. Like I had no clue. I went from doing it to just out.
Waking up.
I don't know. I don't remember.
So it wasn't like you gradually were falling out. It's just like, boop, lights are out, and that's it.
It's weird because the difference between that shit and actual heroin is that like it hits you harder, but it doesn't last as long. But I remember it like I did it and I was thinking for a second, why isn't this shit kicking in? And then all of a sudden it did. Because that's when I woke up.
That's crazy.
My trip with a few minutes on anything was shrooms, and then I did as a teenager hydrocodone, both at the same time. And I was feeling good, but like at the night, I thought I was going to go to the hospital, but I didn't. And that's
Hey, Dr. Anthony, thanks for dropping by.
It's definitely something I use to try to help people now,
yeah.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You had that experience to like I wouldn't.
It's one thing to try to explain to people what it's like, and you've never been in that situation, where it's testimony from somebody who's been through it and understands all the ins and outs of what was going on and can be honest about it. I think that conveys a lot more power behind the message than if I was trying to explain to you, oh, don't do it because this and that, and never ever found myself in that situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think by you doing that, it not only helps at the end, helps you to be able to, continue to stay sober, because it makes you reflect on what was going on with you at that time. But it also helps the people that are in that situation to see that there is hope, that this is not something that's gonna has to be the end of them. That if they really want to, they really want to change, that change does exist, and
Yeah.
there's a way to get to it. So yeah, that's one of the things that have always been admirable. What of your story is that that willingness to share it, not because it's something that you're very proud of doing, but on the contrary, it's a caution tale of, look,
Yep.
this is the reality of this stuff, and this is what really
Yep.
happens. That's why I've always, like hearing when you tell that story. It's not that you're trying to glorify it or you're trying to live in that moment. It's more of a, look, guys, I've been down that road. These are the things these are the great costs that come with it, because you've obviously lost a lot in that process.
Yeah, no doubt.
With mental
I lost
health,
everything multiple times, man.
your mental health goes with it too, because you go through that struggle and then you hit your mental health problem.
Yeah.
You got to work on that as well.
You see,
Well,
and the problem
and
is
then
also there's a social problem associated with that, because it's real easy to dismiss people that are going through it and go, oh, how come you just can't get over it or not do it. Well, there's more to it. Um, Besides the dependency from the chemicals, there's a state of mind that people usually in when they start doing it. And if you don't deal with that part that's going on, that problem that is driving you to it, it doesn't matter what you do, because you haven't addressed the original issue that is causing you to go there.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm laughing at that. Sorry. I'm laughing. It ain't about none of this.
Oh no, you're good, man. No, I'm just thinking in my head. I'm like reflecting on certain things in my head. It's funny because people would like because I had the first time I ever went to like a rehab or anything like that to try to like get off of shit was back in 2010, and it took me till 2021, 20 April of 21. So I mean, 11 years of actually trying to stop. But and you're right, like in your mind, it's like you want to not do it, but besides the physical dependence, there's something that always made me want to do it again, even though I knew that once I did it, I was gonna be right back in it.
You want to escape your problems. You know what I mean?
That's just it, because the doctors and counselors and all that would ask me, so why do you think you started, whatever? And for years and years and years, I always said I just like to party, and to me that was just a cop out excuse. I just like to party, which was partially true.
Yeah,
but there was a lot more to it than that. Just a lot of shit that I didn't realize until this last time, when I finally reflected on my fucking life after I about lost it. And then I had to really think about, like, what do I really want to be or do,
Hey, John, can I ask you something obviously very personal? Those times where you decide, when you started going back to rehab your first time, was it something that was really from you wanting to do it, or was it the pressure of the people around you? And the reason I ask this, because I see a lot of families struggling with them wanting to put the person into rehab, but I always tell them, I don't think that person is ready to go to rehab because they don't want to go there. Was that something there that's true?
Yes.
Or makes sense?
And that's 100% true. If you don't want it for yourself, if you're doing it for anybody but besides yourself, you're there for the wrong reason. Especially like, I feel for the families of like where say a kid, it's a teenager and they're already falling into it, and their parents are trying to get them help or whatever. I understand that. I can see from, I have several kids. I mean, and thank God so far that none of them had fallen into any of that, and I haven't had to deal with it. But I think they haven't because they saw me. But I feel for those parents because I know they want to help so badly. But in all honesty, if they don't want to be there, it ain't happening. The parents can spend all the money they want on it. They'll go right back to it first chance they get.
Another issue is the money problem. You know what I mean? The money issues the whole thing too.
As far as what?
The money, like to get in, it's like so expensive. Like it should be cheaper.
Oh, no, you can.
Well, I mean, there's other places.
There's a lot of different options.
There's really good places, and then there's really bad places.
Right. Like by me, there's a place called Rogers. People come from out of state to come here. I mean, it's not like, rich man's like rehab or something, but it's a good rehab to get your shit together.
I got Walter.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times, and that's where I went the first time, but I just wasn't ready. I did it because it was when I was married, and basically that was their ultimatum, was either you go to rehab or we're getting divorced. And of course I was gonna be like, oh, all right, let's get help, but really I didn't want to be stopped then.
So knowing that, what was that one thing where you just realized and said, you know what, I have to change? What was that moment?
Well, first of all right, so I was already, two things. One, I was already in it was an alternative to basically going to prison and being catching a felony. Was going to drug treatment court. They have that option out here, and it's the minimum at best. Like the quickest you can go through this program is 14 months. 5 phases. There's a whole lot of, got to go to court every Wednesday, piss test, go to IOPs, which is intensive outpatient, all kinds of different stuff, requirements. It's a hard program that a lot of people don't make it through. I was doing good the first like 4 or 5 months, and then I went back to doing shit, and I was basically cheating the system because they didn't have fentanyl. They weren't using fentanyl tests yet.
Yeah.
So I was passing for it. It's a completely separate test. So I was passing for opiates, even though I was going there testing. I was high as a kite. And it took them 8 months to catch me. So it took me I'll go back to the point in a second, but it took me 27 months instead of 14 months to get through the program. I was on a discharge hearing, which means you're kicked out of the program. Now you go back for sentencing, and they can still send me to prison for 3 years.
Okay.
So basically it was at that point when like I said, I was on my last sanction for screwing up, and I was there. I beat the discharge hearing. I got released, and I immediately went and used. And that's when I died, basically. Now, when I came to, that was my, whatever happened. A lot of times it doesn't stop people, but that was like a serious reality check in my head. I said, I looked myself in the mirror, literally, and I was like, all right, dude, you're going to make your choice now. You're either going to get through this program, you're going to stop all this bullshit, or you're going to die. And, I'm 41 years old, so I was 40 at the time. And it was basically like, for me, it was literally like, it's now or never, And I'll call it epidemic. This fentanyl epidemic is only getting worse. More and more people die every day. And it was that decision in my head is like, do I want to be a statistic or do I want to help somebody? And here I am.
Dude, you're doing good, John. Keep it up,
Yep.
man. We love you.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, it's
It really does take a lot
20
of
months.
courage. It takes a lot of courage, and I really appreciate you sharing your story with us, and you know, because you never know who's going to be listening, and
Mm-hmm.
these kind of words can always resonate with somebody that can be in that space and time at that moment
Yeah.
and go, wait a minute, there are options. There's stuff that
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be this way. And I
absolutely.
know it's one of the hardest things to talk about because you know it's admitting that you were doing things you're not proud of doing. Uh,
Yep.
but in that same process, that's how you heal and you mend, and you be able to move
Right.
forward. And you start understanding that's not who you are now. That's who you might have been then, but obviously now
Mm-hmm.
you're a whole different person. And you know, so I think
And
that there's a lot of power in your message. There's a lot of benefit in you sharing those things, and a lot of insight too, especially for families. They get so frustrated because they're dealing with somebody with dependency problems, and they're getting frustrated because they can't understand why they can't help. Uh,
yeah,
so you know,
um,
for that,
and this is another reason why I love the Fish Fam so much is I was deathly afraid to tell my story when I first came around, about a year ago, basically. A year ago last week, actually, is when I met a bunch of you guys, Christmas time. And I was deathly afraid to tell my story because I was afraid, I don't know, you guys, like, I'm afraid, like, okay, so he keeps fish, but he's a piece of shit, basically. you know, I didn't want to be judged, and because it's hard being judged for that shit, man. Because there's some people who have their mind made up. Like,
yeah.
sure, you're clean, but one, they have it in their mind either they'll think he's gonna go back, or number two, just in their mind, they're like they see other people who are in that position maybe in their life and are like, oh, they're just junkie, they're whatever, and you get judged for it. So you got to be real careful on who you talk about things with. But I was encouraged to share my story with people, with the few people that I did share it with initially. And, they said, it would be good to do it. So that's
Well,
when I
and that's why
decided, well,
yeah, and that's why I think, especially because of what you mentioned right now, that I know the holidays tend to be the hardest time for a lot of people, just without any issues. Now, you're
mhm,
dealing with some of the stuff that you've dealt with before. That loneliness is a real thing, and it's a motherfucker, to tell you the truth.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and you know, I that's why I like the fact that people are, and it could just be being at the same time with somebody else, kind of like what we're doing now, just to keep
hmm.
your mind off of dark places that we can go to. And
Oh, yeah, your mind can go a lot of places.
so I think it's important, especially during this time of the year, that we have stuff available for people that are, when you have too much time to yourself, it's not really good. Um, it's just it's always nice to be able to just see somebody else. What we're doing, you and I, right now with BWiz and just talking,
Yep.
and it doesn't have to be about anything specifically. Just the fact that you get to have that interaction. It might not be a physical interaction, but it is a real time interaction. It's a whole lot different to be able to talk to you, on camera than it is to do it on the chat. Um,
Yeah.
and I always enjoy this more um, than I'll interact on the chat, but it's always nice to be able to do it where you can see the other person, because you get to
Yeah.
see the body language, you get to see the person's reaction. It's just,
Yep.
to me, it feels
I agree.
the closest thing to not being there present with you. I am, but I'm not,
Mhm.
in the same space. But it
Yep.
just allows that opportunity, and I think that's one of the nice things about technology, because there's a lot of downsides to it too, because you get a lot of the bullying where you're doing it behind a curtain where nobody can see you, and you can be as nasty and as mean as you want to be. Hey, good morning, Henry. Uh, but this is one of the upsides to it. This is one of the upsides to having this
Yep.
community where you never know who's going to be on. It's nice to just be able to hang out with somebody when you're not doing anything else. And that's
Absolutely.
kind of one of the things that I'm kind of glad that I've gotten it. I've gotten that push to start doing some of the live content and stuff like that, because now it's allowed me to become part of the community. Not that I wasn't
Yep.
before, but at least now you know who, when you see the name, you know who I am, and it
Yep.
becomes more of a person and versus just a tag. So I'm always excited when I
Absolutely.
see some of these common names in this chat that they finally pop up somewhere live, because it just becomes uh, like oh, okay, I'm meeting you.
Yep.
Although it's not necessarily an in-person meeting, but it's still a way to get to know who that person is. You can put a face to the name.
And that's why B Wizzle and I like to have like sometimes like fairly newer people up, because you know this way people get to see who they are. Well, I guess us too, basically. But you know, I mean, me personally, I think B Wizzle agrees. We got a few people in the works that are pretty new, I guess, to coming around the chats and stuff that we want to have up. Just so people get to know who they are. And it's hard when especially when you come in new, you're not going to go right out there and start doing lives, you know.
Yeah.
So it makes them feel. I like to help people feel comfortable into like maybe coming up there and hanging out and feeling comfortable and maybe doing their own stream sometime.
Well, I know that's very true from your part, because I remember coming on to where you guys were streaming, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know you, you didn't know me, but you were
Yep.
always
Yep.
very welcoming. And I remember we had some pretty cool conversations where it was you
Yeah.
were streaming and it was just me and you on the chat, just going
Yep.
ham. And I always thought that was very, very interesting that you didn't know who I was, but yet you were willing to accept me and talk to me and get to know me, and
Yep.
I'm very appreciative of that. And it's just, again, and it wasn't because situations were bad. I just happened to be at work, bored, but it was nice having you guys available at these odd hours where people won't think,
Yeah.
uh, anybody's going to be on. But we live in a 24-hour society nowadays,
Yep.
and it doesn't matter what time. If somebody ever gets an inkling that they want to go on, you'll be surprised who's up with you at the same time.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I remember streaming for your entire shift.
Oh yeah, yeah. We were on there, and it was cool. It was just a hangout. And that's the other thing, that some people uh, are hesitant to go live because they think, oh, it's got to be informative, or I got to be doing something fish related. Well, the reality is not necessarily. I enjoy
Right.
a lot of this type of live streaming, because it's an
Hmm.
opportunity to hang out with other like-minded people. No, we don't necessarily have to talk about fish, because we all keep the fish. That's not really the
Right.
thing. But it does help sometimes if I got a question regarding something, or you have something.
Right.
It's nice that you
Right.
can
New
have
comes in too.
that interaction, and be able to share that information. But more than anything else, I think what I've always said is that we all have that commonality with fish keeping, but then that makes it easy for us to get to know each other, and to be
Yep.
able to have a
Yep.
conversation. And who knows, maybe you establish a new friendship, and you don't know where that friendship is gonna lead to. Um, So
100%.
it's just I've made some very good friends without ever physically meeting those people, and I would consider
Yep.
you a friend, and so would you be with because
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
something that we've been carrying on conversations for quite a while now, for about a year now.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
and if we've never met, we've never been in the same space at once. But anytime you guys pop up, oh, and I can
Yep.
somehow come over, I will because I enjoy seeing you guys. It kind of they're my
You can
friends.
come up too
I want to go
anytime.
hang out with them.
You can
So,
come up
You
too
were
anytime.
one.
Some nights we just post the link in there, Don't
Yeah.
have to do else.
You were one of the reasons why I kept doing the late night streams. Was it was you and there was a few others like
yeah,
Stephen
it was.
P. He could never. Bunny was always up. Mark was
Yep,
always up. Craig. There was always a
Brennan,
handful for sure that were always up at that time, and it was like,
June was one of those that
yep, hey, June,
June.
yep,
I always amazed that it doesn't matter. Sometimes I've seen her when the guy when like Mark and them, the Australian family is on, and it's the middle of the day for them. I'll see June.
yep,
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning down for us, or 4 o'clock in the morning, and there's June. I mean, she's like the one that's always yeah, the Insomniacs. That's what I used to call it, the Insomniac crew.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you know,
It was.
and that was kind of neat. It was something that I always looked forward to when I was working graveyards, and go in there, and even now I still pop in there once in a while. But it's not something that could uh, be kept up forever because you do have other responsibilities, and there's at that time we were in that weird situation where you couldn't be outside your house, so it really
Yep.
screwed with everybody's timing and when they were up and stuff like that. So let me see.
Yeah, it definitely burned me out a little bit. It was more. There were other reasons involved, but yeah, I took a few months off during the summer, but I had to pick. I picked back up now. So
Yeah, I just had to do a water change. My nitrite is a little bit up, but I had to put Dan's fish in here, and it's that Planet 20 long and a chocolate bristlenose pleco and 2 Phoenix reservoirs. I moved from the bottom, or I moved the Galaxy reservoirs because actually one went. I think the Clown reservoir went after him.
I had to plug in my phone real quick.
So yeah, I had to do like at least 20%. I think might be more later. Check it.
See if Steve will come up. Oh, okay, yeah. You know what? I don't have that product available down here where I'm at because they don't. The PetSmart doesn't carry it, and the Petco carries some products, but not all of them. So
I like it. I just get it because on Amazon, but I have a local fish store I get Prime from. Yeah, these are two.
and I recently won like a giveaway, and I've been trying their products, and you know what? It's really they're really good. I mean, I was surprised. I hadn't tried them before, and I know Steve can be witness to this, but he was he even made a little video of how good the window cleaner or the glass cleaner, and I gave him a hard time about him doing this little short that he did, but the reality is that stuff really does work. It's really good.
Yeah.
I like it on my acrylic tanks because mine have very like those micro scratches, and with that product, it cleared up a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, all right, maybe Steve was really onto something, and I shouldn't have busted him so hard. But he's my friend. I gotta roast him whenever I get a chance.
That's what me and John do too.
So, it's just that we. Oh, there he is. Speaking of the devil.
Fuck you,
buddy.
Oh shit! What's going on?
There isn't enough beauty products or haircuts that can make you look good. So quit worrying about it.
Oh, bro, I forgot you have like educated, like good, wholesome people on your platform. I'm sorry, man.
Today. I reserve that for when we stream together on Saturdays.
How you gentlemen doing today?
What's up,
Good.
buddy?
How are you, brother?
I'm good, man.
Right on.
Just, running around government building, show your papers, Don't get me started on that whole thing. Man. So what did I miss? Were you talking about AI at some point in time?
We had a good conversation.
Talking about who?
Artificial intelligence.
Were we? I don't remember.
We did on our stream before though, probably. But we did. It's actually about drugs, getting over like certain things. How would you say it?
Addiction and shit. Addiction.
That happens. And, I don't know. I got a different perspective on that.
On what?
On addiction.
I'd like to hear it.
Addiction.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear it. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, believe me.
It's a setup. Hear me out. From the time you pop out of your mom's twat, you're set up to be geared toward dopamine. All right? We're just going to talk educated. I don't like to bullshit. All right.
Kids are very smart when they're young.
Dopamine is the pleasure drug. That's what it is. It just feels, that's what feels good. So in our society, especially, and that's why I call it a setup, because from the time you pop out of your mom's twat, it's, oh, you're good, little Timmy. Great job, little Jane. This, that, you're just like put up on this pedestal. You dig?
Yep.
And we have a prism, right? And so I like to look at it in terms of a wild animal versus something that's domesticated, right? So from the time they take your little badass and put you in kindergarten up until, you either let go, 10 divorces later, something crazy happens, whatever, go to rehab, who knows? Life happens, or you live good, you die in your sleep with all your grandkids around you. The money's there. Everybody knew you were going to go. Life's good. They remember you. You're a good man. The universe loves you. You get lucky and win the lottery. That's what you get on the way out, right? So when I say it's a setup, look at the things that cause addiction, right? What's addiction, And like how our society, how we view addiction versus accountability, right? Because that's where I'm going with this whole thing. Like, it's a setup. From the time you're a little kid, it's just, you're elated, all the time you're happy as shit, right?
Yep.
And everybody's just coddling you. Even if you have a bad childhood, because how are you going to say you had a traumatic childhood if you don't have no good fucking memories to gauge it against? Therein goes that victim mentality, right? So there's a spectrum of a narcissist, right? Because like the feminists have weaponized this fucking word narcissism, man. It pisses me off. Like, I paid all that money to go to college to learn this shit from the DSM. And what is it, like 5, 6 now? And people just get on social media and just make up new meanings for shit.
Yep. Yep.
Like, fuck your feelings, dude. I paid for to go take these classes, bruh. I'm just saying, bruh, with all that woke shit. Like, I'm on one today because I was at the place, man, getting the passport and taking care of some business. I ain't trying to, OPSEC, but still, right? And just the amount of entitled people. And it's just like, whoa, bro. And then we're talking about addiction, so it's amazing. Look at this, how you are set up from a child, right? And they're going to funnel you out. Like, when my children were younger, I sat in an elementary school, I think for my oldest son, and spoke with the principal. And they straight up told me that they can look at like a 4th grade, 5th grade class and know how many people are going to be in prison that year. And it's called like the school to prison pipeline or some kind of cliche name nomenclature for it. But basically, I was getting in the field real life training on how systematically penal institutions are a corporation, right? And how you have funding in school through these standardized level tests. They don't teach the curriculum to support the test, or they teach just for the test, and then you got a bunch of students that can generate revenue for a school, but they have no substance. They haven't learned anything, you know? So it was just like eye-opening. She's telling me all this stuff. And so you talk about narcissism. Thanks, Pinky. Peep game. So you have this spectrum, right? On this end of the spectrum, you have this guy. I'm better than you. All you guys suck. Suck my balls. Treat me this way because. Hence, hear the words. Treat me this way because. Now, on the other end of that spectrum, you have this other cat. Oh, poor me. I'm inferior. You guys are way better than me. I wish I could be like that. I'm a loser. I suck. Treat me this way because. Both of these individuals are narcissistic pieces of shit. They're victims. You see what I'm saying? But because of the spectrums, you feel me? And all the semantics, am I careful to say that? Am I safe to say that word?
I believe so.
Because of the tomato, if you will.
Yeah.
It gets misconstrued. And once again, accountability is absolved, and this has been a fruitless interaction. What is cancer? It is a failure to communicate. It is cells in your body that are not communicating properly. And just think about that, like on some heavy shit, like on like if how we individual interaction, right, was a microcosm of the bigger thing, right? Because I like to think of consciousness as looking in on itself, right? You can't bite your teeth. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things. Like, so like we are all it. It's looking in on itself, like everything alive, like everything that exists. You know what I'm saying? So addiction is a symptom of that failure to be able to communicate. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I'm a practical person and I'm an honest person. And I'm just like, well, shit, we could be happy if we just tell the truth. You know? Like, yeah, the system, what if you just choose not to play? You know, like that's a choice. You see what I'm saying? Because where I'm at is being responsible. You should be able to say, I just like to get fucked up. And if I'm responsible, I'm gonna say, bruh, if you can't hold your shit, don't do it. That's a quote from American Pop. It was a great movie. But then here's the accountability, because I was in the Navy and I called myself going to some of them AA meetings, and then I went to school for it. I was an ADAM supervisor, so it's the drug and alcohol program. So we work with the troops and stuff. It's a collateral duty. So I'm sitting up here and I'm learning this and I'm looking at the psychology of it and I'm like, boy, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Training time out on all this. Bro, you just like to get fucked up. Here's the deal. You don't have no self-control because you're irresponsible. What the fuck is responsibility? It's your ability to respond. And how the hell are you going to respond if you're fucked up all the time? But see, people, do you know how much money's wasted? How many lives are ruined? How much is just because people don't love each other enough to say, bruh, John, you getting too fucked up, man. Look, I'm not judging you. I'm coming from a place of love and responsibility, homie. Shit, I party with you. But look, bruh, we got to get our shit together. You can't do that. If you got to go and like work with your demons and whoop-de-whoop and all that, that's fine, bro. I got your back. But don't call me the asshole or Captain Obvious for articulating some shit that you're doing. And don't be mad at me for choosing not to interact with you no more because you're too goddamn selfish to own your shit.
Bingo.
It's that simple.
That's
Save all your
the
family
key
that
point
money,
right there.
close down all the rehabs, cut the bullshit. Go to Kensington, go to Pennsylvania, bro. Go see the people. They're out there having the time of their lives. They're fucked up.
I
And
know.
this people's daughters, sons, family
Yep.
out there bad, bro.
Mhm.
Why? Because
I know.
nobody loved them enough to slap the shit out of them and say, bruh, you can do that shit, but not for the lack of me trying. Do you blame me for the bullshit that you end up going through? Because the common denominator in your fuckery is you, my friend. Point blank, period.
Great,
Like,
man. That was like
that
epic.
hit, 'cause
So
I have a personal situation in my family where I'm dealing with that, and that's what I said. I was like,
A lot of
nah,
people do. Yep.
not
That
for the
was-
lack of my trying, boy. Not today.
So I don't know when you came into the stream or not. I don't know when
I
you.
just did.
So I don't know when you
I
came.
literally
Okay.
just did. That's my
So
energy,
we were just coming. So truth be told, I was the person that you were describing, basically.
I wish I would have knew you before. You wouldn't have been, but you know me now. So
Okay.
shit.
He's on
So
the
so I got I'm 20 months clean. All right.
That's
But
what's
you
up.
hit it right on the head with a couple of points. One of them being, and we were just saying that before you went into it. Mexicali asked me, he said, asking about what it takes to get off of it. And basically, it's not like say you as a parent or a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you have to let go eventually and be like, look, man, you're on your own.
You gotta hit rock bottom.
I can only do so much for you. I can't. You weren't gonna, let's say you're my best friend. You were not gonna get me to get clean. I had to get me clean. And the other key point was the accountability. And that's something I lacked for years, was the accountability. And that's when I decided to be accountable for my actions, was when shit changed. Period.
Right.
And yeah, it's sad to see, man, now from seeing it from this perspective, as opposed to being the junkie town, just making excuses like you were saying. Oh, I had a bad childhood. Oh, whatever, you know what I'm getting at. Instead of being like you said, look, I just like to get fucked up.
That's what it is, G. Hey, I get it, man. Some people like to jump out of perfectly good planes. Some people like to swim with the sharks. Hey, man, I like eating disco biscuits and seeing colors and shit. Don't judge me.
Right,
I'm just saying.
Right.
I was talking about earlier. Yeah, the most I ever did, I was telling him, was when I about went to the hospital, was tripping on magic mushrooms and Vicodin. And
now you can microdose. It's all trendy and shit. They finally got that funding to study. They should have studied that shit a long time ago.
I believe in that. I think I believe in that microdose.
I mean, if it can help people. Well, you know what, addiction? I'm gonna tell y'all something, and especially you, John, because it take balls to do what you doing, big homie. Like the internet forever, G. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on some whole different shit. It's like I know I'm just passing through Earth. This realm, like I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But like it takes courage to get up here and admit this. And so kudos. You don't need to hear, but I want to give you that. Like I want to
appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Like that's dope. But like, look at how the shit is shaped. It's easy. I'm telling you, it's a setup, G.
Mm-hmm.
The guilt. Then you be like worried about like if your mama and them, your folks, they're gonna be shamed of you.
Yep.
Then that's some more guilt. Then all it is shit that you use, right? It's like coupons.
Mm-hmm.
You just take them. You just take them to justify getting fucked up.
Absolutely.
Here's the deal. It's crazy to where you can't enjoy shit for what it is. And people don't understand that. Look, I'm about to hit some nerves now. About to paint you a picture. I like to talk in abstract analogies. Hopefully you can keep up. All right?
Oh, I definitely can.
Okay, Pete Gang, stay with me. And this crazy because me and Jorge, we just talk like this, bro. So welcome to the family or whatever, because you're gonna end up fucking talking to me some kind of way, probably. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Welcome. Look, Pete Gang, you worded like the people in the family. Let's look at a family. Let's paint a hypothetical family, right? Let's set up an intervention scene. Okay. You got the one family member, right? He a junkie. You feel me?
Yep.
Then you got the mama, the daddy, couple siblings or some shit. You got the nuclear family with a little bit of extended support, good support, right? Peep gang. Now, the junkie over here, he in his truth. He raw as a bitch. He getting high. Something ain't right. So he getting high to like right that wrong. But it's a maladaptive behavior. So you really throwing yourself into harm. But doing the drugs, right? Right. Game, stay with me. Okay, so now you got this hypothetical family. Junkie know his problem. Now look at your hypothetical family though. Two of the siblings is obese. The mama a control freak, overbearing as fuck. The daddy, he an alcoholic himself, but he a pillar of the community. He a stand-up guy. Nobody'd ever suspect nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? The one brother, he a whole ass weirdo and shit, spending all his money on OnlyFans, on some old foot fetish type shit. But look at these indignant, self-righteous motherfuckers judging you because society has given them the ability to say you a junkie, you a fuck up. On the way here, by the way, we just fucking loaded ourselves with all kinds of bullshit from Monsanto's and Diet Coke and Starbucks and KFC, Mega Bowls and bullshit. But you fucking junkie, you motherfucker, you. Yep. But that's your family. Right. And that shit hurts. You see what I'm saying?
That's
so then you take that pain. You take that pain and you tap it. You get them track line. I don't know what your fix was. You know what I'm saying?
I can show you my arms, but I don't want to do that.
You do what you do. You feel me? And then it's like the irony of the whole thing is if getting fucked up is just what it is.
Yep.
What's the real problem? But you got all these righteous motherfuckers that can't look at nothing because society has given them a target. Something to focus on. Why I need to focus on the fact that I'm a toxic human being, that I'm just a shitty motherfucker, but I'm not a junkie though. I'm finna fuck y'all up. Peep game. I used to say this shit in the Navy, bruh. When I was talking to my little young troops, right? They be having problems. I'd be like, nah, bruh, peep game. Because I'm a history buff. And I'd be like, nah, bro, this like the antebellum South. And they'd be like, what? I'm like, peep game, just hear me out. I'll be like, look, you got officers and you got enlisted, okay? The enlisted, they the coloreds. We the colored motherfuckers. The officers, they the whites. Now, let me frame this for the non-educated people. When I'm talking in obstructs of white and colored, I am talking about 1,000% how it was done politically, how paper genocide was committed, how rights were taken per the Constitution. So I'm coming from a standpoint of a patriot, a responsible American citizen, not a whiny victim up here on the soapbox, because I don't play that victim shit. All right? So I would tell my troops, here's the deal. Everybody coexisted synergistically just fine, but everybody knew their place. Everybody stayed in their lane. See? We cool as shit on the boat, sir. Yes, sir. Shit. You out in town if you're not in a war zone, it's, you can, you know, you ain't supposed to, but get your asses over here. Get a beer, you know? Fuck up if you want to. UCMJ on your ass. You're enlisted. You got out of your place. You disrespected that officer, boy. You understand? But sir, and I'm like, in my head, I'm standing up here getting yelled at, whoop, whoop, whoop. In my head, I'm thinking, dude, I was like, fucking bitches and paying rent when you were in elementary school, and I got to call you sir because of some arbitrary reasons, but I agreed to join this organization. You understand? Right. The difference is you don't get to pick what you're born as, but look at how society does. Now, we can bring this shit full circle to how the fish fam is running with YouTube, how the hobby's going, all this shit. But like, you see that duck up there on that StreamYard? You got to have them motherfuckers in a row before you go to try and act like you're going to try to call somebody's dirt out. You better make sure your shit's clean. You know? Right.
Man, you feel me? You're awesome.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like but you see the analogy that I'm getting at? Yeah. And look at the family, though. You're a junkie. You're a fucking junkie. But now, how dare you judge me over here eating all this bullshit food? I don't respect my husband. He's a whole cuck. He's in there right now spending bill money on OnlyFans because I don't give him the attention he needs, or vice versa. You know, my wife's in here cleaning and shit, taking care of these badass kids. I don't appreciate her. I don't love on her. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? She in here feeling some kind of way. Wonder why 50 Shades of Grey, that bullshit, made so much money. Like, really? You're married to a whole ass man, young lady. Men, we are the nastiest motherfuckers on the planet. Yeah. If you don't know how to operate the user's manual, for real, our faults, women. Real. You better figure out how to work that damn thing. We want to do all that shit that you want done. We just love y'all, and we don't want to hear your shit. Yep. Like, awesome. It's the truth. But look at that dynamic. Look at that dynamic, though. But you're the junkie. You're the fucking junkie. Really, bruh? So, once again, getting fucked up ain't nothing but getting fucked up. What's the real problem?
Facts right there.
Can I ask you this?
So like anybody with college degree, what is rationalizing? Justifying a maladaptive behavior. And that's what everybody fucking do. And they'll stay rationalizing that shit while they're still pointing their fucking fingers at you, calling you a fucking junkie. So once again, I'm asking you, because you need to stay clean, motherfucker. This is treatment too. 20 months. Okay, fuck that. It's called stop counting, because you got to get to the problem. Why? And that if you just like getting fucked up and that's all it is, look at your shit. Look at your surroundings. Look at who you have in your life. Look at what you got. What made you what the fuck, bro? If you're accountable to you, then where is the excuses externally that you are taking these goddamn coupons to say, man, I need to go get fucked up?
See, and that's where it all ends.
And you nip that shit out. Maybe you're going to have to stop some relationships and shit.
Yep.
You might have to stop fucking with some people. You did?
Yeah. So, people, places, things,
man. My friend died on it, and I had to.
That's where I'm at.
A year ago, or years ago.
It go past party. Exactly. It go past. People die. It go past party. You feel me?
He's my best friend.
It go past party.
He's bad on
way past party.
Stealing.
It became a matter of survival. Matter of survival. It wasn't a party no more.
Can I ask you this though? What do you think, because I'm a history nerd, about the 80s crack epidemic in the CIA military? Because it's truth that there were so many articles, movies.
Don't get them started. Don't get them started.
I love this guy. I love Steve.
You need to fill us when we have these conversations.
We need to do
shit going on. Too much shit going on to be.
Always have to ask God, this is me. Because the CIA had, they would get, they want money.
Look, I'm putting to you like this, homie.
They're selling.
It's some things. Look, I'm putting to you like this, bro. What's understood don't need to be spoken, man.
Yeah.
I'll give you an
That
analogy.
reporter got killed.
I'm gonna give you an analogy, G. Dead ass. We watching a train wreck. We watching it happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the fucked up part about it is we the passengers on the goddamn train.
Yep.
It's finna.
That's true.
You be all right though. You'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
We're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I'm
like
good.
what's understood
I know
don't
I'm
need to be
good.
spoken. Here's the thing, bro. I said that on that one video. I did like a thing on Instagram because I was pissed, bro. I was just making my coffee and I got my fucking moringa powder. So I was gonna put me some in there, and I saw it, and then like I be going down rabbit holes of rabbit holes. Like I'll see something, anything. I'll see something, and it'll trigger me, and then I just go down that motherfucker. Next thing you know, I'm calling him. I'm calling somebody. I done posted some shit because I got to get it out. And that's what it was. There was the moringa powder, and I was like, why do people get stuff and run it into the ground? You know, like this groupthink mentality is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, I do like I'm a Generation X motherfucker, bro. And,
Me too.
Here, I'm gonna solve all this. Generation X, the 80s and the 70s.
I was 89.
Yep.
Here's how.
No, you're a millennial.
89. I'm like the last of the generation.
They piss me off, no, because they keep trying to change the thing, right?
Yeah, they do.
I think I was talking like with my brother or somebody. And I was like, look, I'm gonna solve that shit real easy. Mandela effect my ass. If you wasn't alive for the fucking song on the commercial, bitch, that means you wasn't born yet. You're not Generation X. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Generation X. Bitch, that's our fucking song.
Yeah.
If you didn't remember that commercial, I ain't singing no more because I can't sing. If that shit don't do something to you, bitch, you wasn't born yet. Fuck a goddamn list.
Or if MTV has shows
on the internet. You gonna tell me my memories don't matter? So I just growed up getting the fuck called Generation X the whole time. And now because some cocksucker in some fucking Twitter, some goddamn where wants to make a database and tell me when the fuck out. No, bitch, I know what the fuck I saw. Like, really? Yep. Who gives a shit? Ronald Reagan, Dukakis, crack,
a million things I saw, man.
Depression, Don Bluth films, fucking
AIDS.
Great Space Coaster, Romper Room.
Wasn't
the Dare program.
Yeah, the stupid ass fucking dog.
It had music on when I was a kid, MTV. And now it has
McGruff.
Didn't I tell you it was a setup? I told you it was a setup, right?
Yeah, I love music on MTV.
What is education? Real talk. What is education? To lift one from ignorance.
What is education?
Yes, education. To lift one from ignorance, right? Versus indoctrination.
Get your ass learning.
The DARE program.
Mm-hmm.
What did it do?
Educated
set you down and taught you what every fucking drug is, what it does, how it makes you feel, and where to go get it. And then after that, they sent you to fucking chemistry class. Yay, 90s.
No shit, right? No shit.
That's where Walter.
You're gonna sit up here and tell me the president just put up a goddamn 100 cookie of crack. Like, really, this nigga just got a big ass fucking 100 cookie of crack on the at the White House, bitch. A big one. I was a fucking kid.
Good Lord.
We don't get those innocent moments back, but you the junkie though. See? It's a setup, G. So be better. That's my fucking point. Just be better. Like dead ass. Hey, if you don't want to get fucked up, then don't. Hey, withdrawals do suck. So you better exercise, drink some fucking tea, do what you got to do. But that don't mean you go get fucked up.
Right.
See what I'm saying? I get it. Be better. Here's the thing, dude.
Accountability and honesty, bro.
Turn it into a competition. Do you want to be a slave to anything?
No.
So
and that's
you're
part of
you're gonna fuck yourself up to teach these motherfuckers in that hypothetical situation of yours. I'm going to show you. Really, Brad?
Right.
Remember that spectrum now. Remember that spectrum. I'm better than you. You're better than me. Therefore, treat me this way because same shit. Fucking victims,
Yep.
bro. And then what are you doing? Who are you benefiting? You dig? Like, I told my son this shit. That's X all day. Man. Dude, why would you have to?
Definitely X, man. That's
Fuck wrong with you, Mark? That's X. Let's go.
the clear Pepsi. The clear Pepsi.
I remember that shit. RC Cola, clear
Home
Pepsi.
Alone, I remember that.
Man,
too.
you know, nostalgia, dude. Y'all better start reading books and shit. It's a setup, G. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a whole ass setup. It's a setup.
It is.
That's all I can say. I ain't gonna say shit else. I really don't have. I'm not gonna speak on shit I don't know. Put it to you that way.
Okay.
That's
So I have one more point to everything we were talking about, and it was about
this
the
is
night.
actually dope, man. Thanks for. I'm sorry, I kind of just bogarted it, but you said addiction, and I was like, "You sure you want to hear?"
No, it's all good, dude.
That shit, because it fucked my family up. People died in my family. I used to drink a shitload.
I wanted to hear what you had to say from
your
your perspective, because of my perspective from my end of things. But at the same time, we both came to the same points and conclusions, really, because I completely 100% agree. Yeah. The only way once you did it and you're trying to get out of it, whether, like you said, it doesn't have to be just dope, caffeine, nicotine, any of that, food, whatever. It's being accountable for your actions, realizing what's good for yourself, and do you want to live this way or do you want to live a healthier way?
Right.
And then in turn,
that's why I was laughing at. Mark said he was a boomer.
I know, but my dad's a boomer.
Don't get me started on boomers, please.
Boomers.
Please
Who said boomer?
Always
no, I was telling John, because John, you were telling about the accountability and stuff, and you spot on, G. But no, I was saying that's why I was chuckling when you was talking, because Mark said he a boomer, he don't know shit. Because I was like, really, Mark, what's the business? Generation X, bro, Pepsi. Remember Michael Jackson caught on fire? That it wasn't funny, but it was funny. He's like, oh my head, that shit was funny. That bitch sound like Mickey Mouse. He was bending around and shit. It was smoking. God forgive me. Real Mike, they did that to Mike. They special him.
That shit was playing.
Damn, he could sing good too.
Behind his hair.
George doesn't even know what to say right now. He's like,
no, he was talking about accountability, and accountability is good. It's the truth, man. Look, if you love people, right? Yeah. Love them enough to tell the truth. Don't be a dick.
Yep.
It's that simple. Don't be a dick.
Whether you fucked up or you didn't, it's being honest.
Because guess what? Yep. Your message ain't got shit to do with this ass whooping you could get. And I think if look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think they need to go back to the prime law. Y'all Google that on your own. It's only like two rules, 2 or 3. It's real easy. Don't fuck with nobody. Mind your business.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
stay in your lane.
Yeah. Like, that's it. Like, it's like like Westerns, right? Y'all watch Westerns?
Mm-hmm.
Used to.
Which ones? Okay. Yeah, my favorite's Young Guns.
So peep game. You see a Western, right?
Mm-hmm.
They out there in the street, pistoling, shooting, beating the shit out of each other, right? A woman walk by, they all stop, ma'am, and then they go right back to beating the shit out of each other. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's all we need back. That's all we need back. That's all we need back. Like I had told George, can I talk about that on the TV? Is that safe? my analogy about how they're mislabeling those women and it's wrong?
Oh, I don't know.
It's a little risque. I don't
Yeah.
know. What do you think? Okay, look. I'm gonna do it. Watch me tactful. Watch me. I'm gonna do it tactfully and tastefully. Watch this. Get my military shit back. Watch. So we were having a discussion, and the discussion came from the fact that I had a random thought. I was enjoying some nostalgic movies from the 70s. They were blaxploitation movies. Okay. And then I had a random thought, and I just sent Georgia a voice message because this needed to be stricken to the ether, you know? So what I said was, it's amazing how we live in such a euphemistic society that we mislabel people improperly and they champion inappropriate things. Now, what I said is that they mislabel promiscuous women and men, individuals, as whores, if you will. And I said that is improper, that is incorrect. Whores get paid. Whores get paid. No, that's why I said individuals, promiscuous individuals, men, whoever. Whores get paid. Gigolos get paid. Okay?
Right.
It's the oldest profession on earth.
It is. Absolutely.
Okay? Number one. Number two, give a little more respect. Okay? And then here's what I'm saying. Because we're so euphemistic, we're irresponsible. If you refer to a promiscuous individual as what they are, instead of euphemistically calling them what they aren't, look what you get to avoid. Fucked up childhoods, unwanted parents, fucking diseases, failed marriages, infidelity issues. I'm sorry, but I'm a sailor and I'm educated, all that good stuff, blah, blah, blah. It is very painful and cringy for me to refer to someone as a slut or any of those derogatory terms, therefore designated for a promiscuous individual. However, if we were more accountable, I'm just saying, maybe it would trickle down and get up in there and people, look, back in the day, you didn't need all that stuff because you had good old-fashioned Catholic guilt. Shit's very good. Some KGB shit for you right there, boy.
Yeah.
Think about that. Oh, they just hoes. Nah, you coming home with a wet behind and empty pockets, baby. You not a hoe. I'm sorry. Don't be
just promiscuous.
Yeah, you gave that away, mama. You better go get checked in the morning. You might have got something. See? Think about that. You see how cringy that is? Look at this. We had to walk around on eggshells just to talk about that. But on YouTube right now, on the internet right now, there is the most deplorable shit on the internet right now. People worried about me being an articulate militant Negro
and
using the southern vernacular, eating cinnamon licorice. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, there's a guy butt chugging a beer or something with Andy.
I mean,
Bravo.
Come on, bro. I'm saying here, mind your business. However, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Make sure your house is clean before you go judging me over here, casting off your venom and your bad vibes my way. Now I gotta waste calories to do damage control to mitigate your bullshit as to not stoop to your level and do something thusly unbecoming of myself. Like, why? That's very, very selfish and disrespectful. It's that simple. Like, that's why I say they need to bring ass whoopings back. That's all.
Yeah.
I think I did that pretty good without getting you banned, George. I don't think you're going to get banned.
Did good. That was good.
It's a good stream, man.
You know?
I'm glad I have that other channel in case they shut this one down.
I know, right?
Hey,
I don't think he'll get shut
my
down.
friend Bounty, I see some crazy stuff on there. I mean, he's my friend, but yeah, they don't shut him down. He's over like 5,000. He deletes it or puts it in
Right
private.
Nah, they ain't gonna shut him down.
Yeah, I see way worse.
They're not
I
gonna.
always feel
I see way worse.
Steve, that
I'm talking
And they
about
keep
being
it
a
up.
friend with him could potentially be expensive if you have everything shut down.
Everything
They
we
block you,
talked
too.
about,
Sometimes they'll block
everything
you
we
on
talked
your-
about was educational.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I'm not worried about it. I'm just joking. But you know, it's interesting because I know people seem to have a perception of me, but
Mhm.
don't get it wrong. I mean, I'm right there with Steve. It's just I'm not as expressive as he is.
He's tactful.
You're
Man,
a little more
George is
reserved.
good. He's
You're a
I'm a
little
little
more
older.
reserved.
That's all it is.
I'm the
You
kind
know
of
what's
little older.
amazing?
too nice of a guy.
I like it. You know what it is? Iron sharpens iron, right? And
Yeah.
George is the OG, and I'm a baby OG, so I'm embracing that shit because I'm in my 40s now. So I'm like embracing it. And then
I'm right there
he
too, bro.
he like at a level of not give a fuckness that takes it take a while. I don't want to go through what I gotta go through to get to that level, but it's gonna happen, and I know I'm gonna be a better man because of it. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is?
By the way, man, your
Don't
plants
say
are
it.
growing too, man.
And here's
Look
what
at
it is.
that.
I'm a realist.
Yeah, I need some water. Thank
I
you.
know that at this point in my age, I've already lived more than what's left for me to live. So
Right.
getting caught up on minute bullshit, I don't have time for that. So I
Right.
just gotta enjoy the day for it is.
It's so
I don't take for
exhausting.
granted the things that happen. I'm trying to make it a point now where drama is. I don't have time for that.
Right, man.
Right.
You know, yeah, you could call it pragmatic, but it's just, I want to enjoy what's little or whatever I have left, and not worry about, all this stuff you see out in the media today and the correctness
So funny 'cause
and
it's
whether
true.
it's this or that. I don't have time for that. I mean,
I'm
I'm
laughing
here.
because I wish they would give us our words back. There are certain words that we used to say all the time that summed up all this bullshit quite perfectly and rather astutely, I might add. But we can't say them no more because you'll fuck around and get banned. We had words for all of it. Look, life was better in the sense that we was like the last people to get treated like human beings because the fundamental truth was you're still gonna check out this motherfucker, man. Like it ain't that serious. Like it's the golden rule. Don't be a dick. It's real simple.
Yeah.
That's the golden rule.
I think I man. Like that.
It was different. Like I was telling the homies because I've been since I retired and came home. I've been catching up with some of my high school friends. Like I've been knowing these cats since kindergarten, and I was telling them, I was like, bro. You realize in the 80s and 90s, bro, really in the 80s, we pretty much single-handedly eradicated racism. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, think about it. I was like, look at the music. And he was like, you got a point. Bro, you know how many bets because of Google, how many fucking bets I lost? Yes, bro. Beer, money, whatever, 6-packs, cases, whatever. It'll be a dumbass bet a song, an artist. I lost a bet because I thought that I didn't know the one dude that sings this one song. There was a bunch of white dudes, and they was like, nah, bro. And I was like, bullshit, bro. They didn't have no damn YouTube back in the day. If you didn't stay up for goddamn putting on the hits or Friday night videos or some shit, or you had cable, you wasn't seeing all them videos and shit. Stop lying. They wasn't no bullshit.
Well, the one that got me was Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah,
and,
I knew that.
Another one Bites the Dust. I could have sworn that was not.
No, the Average White Band. Love of Your Own. Bro, that shit done got played at cookouts, funerals, barbecues, baby makings, everything. And it's some damn white dudes from Scotland. I was like, hell yeah. They singing their ass off too. And now you got all these stupid ass people on the they're talking about cultural appropriation. I'm like, what the bruh, just if you do the shit good, do it. I don't give a fuck. That was the 80s though. You feel me? If you do it good, go on, do it. Like they were saying you can't put braids in your hair if you Caucasian. Literally. Really, bruh? French, braid, France. The hell? Just saying.
Yeah.
What they got? Was it a Celtic twist? I think is one of them. Don't ask me why I know all this stuff. Oh,
Doing
lady
a
from
water
beauty
change,
school.
sorry.
Oh, y'all good. Renee,
Yeah.
what's good?
Hey guys.
What up, Renee? Chat.
Bro, them tanks are looking amazing, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I really like this one with the wood in it, bro. Pause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
The one, this one right here.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's that.
I love it.
I've been enjoying that one. That's the one with the that had all the electric blue cars. Now, now I'm only down to one, unfortunately.
Sí, pero ¿hiciste eso así en propósito o no?
Yeah, that was intentional.
Todo con la leña y todo.
Yeah.
Nah. Well, then
Yeah,
you
and I always-
obfuscate the fool.
I always well, yeah, no, it's
That's
good. But I always let if you can see, I always let algae grow in the back.
Yeah, me too.
I like
That's
instead
what
of
I do.
having
It looks good.
Instead of doing anything else, I just let the algae grow. And because I have shrimp in all my tanks, they're always grazing on the side of the glass. So
Can I ask you fellas something like a fish tanky question? And this is a personal opinion, but like to me, do y'all kind of feel like how you let the algae grow on the glass like that? Do you feel like it kind of like softens the tank? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
what I do is I set it up for the fish.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are not display tanks. So this is a very different type of setup. They're displays for my enjoyment. They're not.
I got you. You just
they're not
being
in the house.
modest, bro. That shit
They're
look
not
good.
in the house. But if I was to put something in the house, I would probably keep it like what you see in a magazine as far as aquascape, because then it's for people that are
It's
coming.
art.
It's not for my enjoyment. Ironically as that sounds, it wouldn't be for my enjoyment. It would be for the people coming over to look at it and go, "Oh wow, that's really neat."
I got you.
That's-
Can I ask you something though? But why? So like, is
Here's
there
why.
a way that you could happy
Here's why.
medium
It's
that
real
shit to
simple.
where you would enjoy
It's
it?
real simple, because that's the conversation starts where, oh, that's so cool, and then I get to talk about my geeky hobby.
I
That's
got
why
you.
I would do it.
It's a sacrifice, but it's really not because you'd enjoy that shit too. But
Yeah,
People with the
obviously it
link
would be
again.
more of a planetscape with very lightly stocked fish in it, because
you don't want to feel like a sellout, though. I see what you're trying to stay hard. You're trying to stay under. I see what you're doing, baby. I respect
got
you
you.
for that.
I got
I be
you.
doing that too. That's how you say F them, you know? I ain't
Yeah.
going out like a sucker either. I can obfuscate my ass
it's-
off.
It's
But
my way to
I ain't
be
going
able
out
to
like that.
get the
That should
conversation
work, John.
going in the direction where it leads to my hobby, and then that goes into, oh, you want to see some other tanks, and then I can show them what the real
You
tanks do.
kidnap them, yeah. You just tank to tank to tank.
But
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, John got to come back up.
I got the link for him.
he got
okay.
dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, please
No,
drop the
because I
link.
was looking at that.
I hate to do this, but
I put the link. But yes.
I really gotta run before my wife thinks that I want to hang out with her.
Yeah, I figured it's 2
Yeah,
hours.
you don't need that. I'm going to be in the same boat.
for 2 hours and almost 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Damn.
you guys,
This is my fault.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's not your fault. We were on for a lot longer
Yeah.
before you came on. But thank you guys. I know this is not normally a time that people stream or I stream, and it's not really a regular thing that I think I can keep up just because of my work schedule. But periodically, I'll do like B-Wizzle, just drop in and we'll have fun.
I
It's
barely,
kind of a hangout.
like, if I wouldn't have looked at my phone, I wouldn't have known. Man, shout out to the homie Silver Creek. I think I saw him in there. For giving it, like, yeah. So I was
Well,
lucky.
no,
This
guys,
was dope.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys having here, and we'll catch each other on the chat somewhere. You
Hey,
guys
check
take
us
care.
out Saturday, Fish Plants y Más.
Yep.
Yeah, Saturday we'll be talking about plants. So if you guys
It's
can
gonna
join
be
us,
a
that'd
good
great.
one. Woo!
All right, guys.
All
See you
right,
guys
y'all have a
later.
good afternoon.
Later.
Later.
Later.